We're doing something a little different today. Let's just, all of this. Yeah, this. Okay. So I got stuff to do needle felting, and there's a lot of it here. This is really exciting. So I've never done this before, and I learned that you can either make like stuffed animals or you can do like needle felted painting. Needle felted painting. Like people make pictures and it looks so cool. So I want to try that. I've never done this before, as I said. And it even came with this like thing of tools. Let me show you something. First, I gotta get all the stuff I dropped. Where were we? I have to show you the wildest looking tool that comes in this set. You see that thing? There's like 8 needles on it. And then there's some other little needles. Lots of stuff. Oh, there's tweezers, glue sticks. I don't know, why would I need a glue stick? These little leather things so you don't hurt your fingies, you know? Wait, it actually goes like this though. Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff in this set and so many colors to choose from. So depending on how ambitious I am, we might try both a painting and a stuffed animal sort of thing. I'm not sure yet. I've actually been trying to learn about all this stuff like before I started, and my friend Brenda does this and she's so good at it. She does like the painted needle felting, and I'll ask her if I can put some of her art right here in the video because it'd be so cool, and her Instagram in case you want to follow her. But she helped me so much on FaceTime the other day. We had like a little crash course. And then I'm also watching a class on Skillshare just to learn how to do like the stuffed animal portion of needle felting. And that's been really helpful too. So I'm really excited to actually try it now. I've mostly just been watching other people do it. So yeah, so let's just hop into this and then we'll find out what we're doing. I also have like a bunch of sheets of felt because this is like the base for your painting. So, hey, yeah, let's try it. We're gonna start small. Here's the little cushion. I think it's better to start small since I'm new at this. I don't wanna get in over my head. Okay, I couldn't find my large fabric scissors, so this is what we're using. I just need this to fit on here. Save all these scraps. I always find uses for this stuff. Okay, there are some tools in here, like eyes for those stuffed animals, various little like clips, stuff for jewelry and whatnot. I'm not sure how much I will use the stuff in here, but I do have all of these things out and ready. There's also a lot of colors, so yeah, they're all over my floor right now. This will be exciting. You know, it's really satisfying to see all these colors everywhere. Oh, they're just so pretty. But I wish they would have eliminated all this plastic and found a way to make it more sustainable. This is a lot of plastic wasted. Okay, so the first thing I was told to do is like lay the stuff across. So I found these 2, 3, 4 similar colors and I'll try it. So here is our little wool thing. This stuff is so satisfying. This is neat. We're literally gonna be like painting with wool. So I'm just gonna start laying it across. And right now, this is kind of like an underpainting of sorts, I'm assuming. Don't come for me if I have all the terminology wrong, I'm still learning. Anyway, lay it across, and then I was told to flip the excess under after this is all down. I have been so excited to do this for months. Okay, I'm gonna use this guy here and see how it goes. Am I doing it right? I don't know. Whoa, it's sticking. This is the coolest thing. All right, this is where we're at right now. It feels like a cloud. I love it. And it sticks to the piece of styrofoam now because I've poked it so many times. So before we finish making everything with all this wool, I want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Skillshare is, it's such a fun platform with thousands of classes to choose from. So I mentioned at the beginning of this video that my friend Brenda helped me figure out how to go about all this needle felting stuff, and she was such a help. But Skillshare also helped me too, because I got like lost in this rabbit hole of needle felting classes, and it really inspired me to just dive in. I also just redid my studio space, and Skillshare has like really unique classes to brighten up your living area. I actually just took a class called Plants at Home, Uplift Your Spirit and Your Space by Christopher Griffin, aka Plant Queen on Instagram, and it was so helpful. And if needle felting or plants does not interest you, there are painting classes, ceramics, interior design, film, so many other things. And now because the intentions of Skillshare is this learning community, they really want to make sure you can focus in on the things you want to learn about, so there are no ads. Nothing's going to interrupt your flow. So I'm excited about that plant class. I'm excited about needle felting, and I think something really special about Skillshare this holiday season is there's just so many classes where you can learn a new skill like this, and you can make a handmade gift that just means a lot to somebody that you love. So I'm actually making this needle felted piece for my mom, and that's why I'm really thankful that I found all those classes, because I get to like give something really meaningful to somebody that I love. Skillshare is also super duper affordable. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. And if you want to try out Skillshare, the first 1,000 subscribers to click that link in my video description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. So you can totally check out that plant class by Plant Queen that I just mentioned, or you could try needle felting or just anything you want, really. Thanks again, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to doing the little stabby things with the needle felting thing. So my mom actually lives in Florida, and she lives pretty close to the beach. So I think it would be really special for her to have a beach picture. So that's what we're gonna do. Part 2. Ooh. Whoa, this is so pretty. Look at that. I would like to do the tree line here in the background. I think I'm gonna scoot it up higher though, like that. I think I'm gonna have to do this more often. I think I just found a new creative outlet. It's so fun. I'm really excited to try blending. So I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like twirling pieces of wool for texture, and I love the effect of it. Wow, so fun. I think I'm gonna really enjoy shading. What color should I do for the beach? So many choices. Yeah, choosing a beach color. That sounds interesting, doesn't it? Here's the part where I got sidetracked making wool mustaches for myself with these pieces. Good times were had. Anyway, for this part I'm going to do a voiceover because, as you have heard earlier in the video, This is quite the noisy project, and for those of you who, like myself, do not like ASMR, it is not a fun experience to hear that kind of stuff. So yeah, I kept a little bit of it in for the curious, but we're moving on from those noises. I can't take it even as I'm editing. So let me tell you about my experience. This was way easier to blend colors than I anticipated, and I learned that very quickly as I was doing this beach scene. So the sand here, you can see like closer to the horizon, it's a lot darker, and then I brightened it as I came to the foreground. That was a really fun experience. It was really intimidating at first because, you know, it's a completely different method of creating a picture. This is not with paint, so I didn't know how it was gonna go. And I'm not the best at like knitting and crocheting, so that also intimidated me, but this is completely different. And yeah. Now, one thing I did learn that was, I would say it wasn't very surprising, but this is a very, very, very time-consuming activity. Even though this little picture here, well, is very little, it took me almost the whole day. I'm not even joking. So yeah, it took a long time. And I just want to also verbally state a warning if you try this. I was not being very careful with this, and I did hurt myself. So like, if you do this, please follow more safety precautions than you're seeing here, because yeah, I would strongly advise that. The water was really, really fun to do. I got to use all these bright blues and just swirl stuff around and make waves. These needles are really sharp. Be careful. All right, the sea foam is gonna be white, so that's exciting. I think we're pretty much at the point now where we can start like shading, and I should do clouds. Yeah, we're gonna have so much fun with this. I'm gonna take you down here now. Okay, this is the most fun part, I think, is like doing these little swoopy, just textures. I think something that made this needle felted painting really fun for me was the clouds in the background. Because at first it almost felt like the piece just wasn't coming to life until I did those little swirly, swoopy things. And if you look at this painting from the side, you'll notice that the clouds have a lot more texture to them than they appear from the front. Also, I used the same white for the clouds as I'm using for the sea foam right now, because I went back into the ocean water and decided, this needs something more. And you can see here that I'm also using these smaller needles because I'm doing smaller details, and I take the bigger tool every now and then. But at this point on, I pretty much needed this smaller tool a lot more than I thought I would. So that was kind of fun to test out all the different tools in this kit. I didn't use like a lot of the eyes and stuff like that because I ended up not having time to do a 3-dimensional needle felted stuffed animal sort of thing in this video. So yeah, today we only did needle felted painting, but it was really fun and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I cannot recommend this enough. If you're looking for a new hobby, this is a good one. I think I'm gonna go to my local yarn shop. Oh look, I tried to juggle. Hey, I can't juggle. Oh, I really fail at juggling. Yeah, let's not do that again. Anyway, I'm gonna go to my local yarn shop and probably get bulk wool because I think I want to do some bigger pieces with this sort of thing. Oh my goodness, this is so cool. Look at that, it's like a rug. So if you're wondering what I'm doing right here, I am tucking everything over to the back of the canvas, sort of wrapping it around, and then attaching it with the same tool I used for the front to give it a polished up look. All right, we finished our needle felting piece, and this is how it turned out. I'm really excited about it, and it really does feel like a beach. It's a little smaller than I thought it would be after I folded the edges over, but you know, it's a learning curve. You learn as you go. So my next step for this, I think, will be to try to find some sort of like shadow box to fit this in. And then I will give it to my mom in like a shadow box, because I think that would be really pretty for Christmas. She has no idea that I learned how to do needle felting, so I'm just so excited to give this to her. She loves beaches, and yeah. Also, this thing is so light. I probably shouldn't be doing that, huh? If you want to see me do a giant painting with wool, let me know, because I kind of want to do like a really big needle felted painting. I could do like a conservatory. I don't know, this sounds so fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.